Sir.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Your name, please.
Sir, my name is Vaishali.
Okay, Ms. Vaishali, tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Vaishali. I come from Faridabad, and I've done my schooling from GPS Faridabad, and then I aspired to study law. And I did my law from National Law University, Delhi, where I got immense opportunity to be a part of number of experiences, and I even then pursued a job in a law firm. However, I ultimately decided to appear for civil
Why?
services.
Law is such a good profession. People have big names, they're making tons of money. And why did you want to leave it?
Sir, I believe that my motivation for civil services was something that developed during my work with IDIA and a number of research projects that I was a part of during my law school, where I was a part of, where I could see that my work had impact on certain lives, and I could see a chain reaction in terms of that. And then I also saw a number of public institutions work for the people, and that experience gave me
But
the.
see, most of even the politicians, the top people who sort of decide the fate of the nations, most of them are all people from your profession. India, how many, okay, tell me, which are the top leaders who are having law background since independence?
So there are many.
Who fought for independence?
Right, sir. So since independence, even Jawaharlal Nehru, he was a lawyer. Even Mahatma Gandhi, he did his law.
So-
And so these were since the.
Who else? Who else?
So Motilal Nehru.
Mhm.
And since independence, even today we see Kapil Sibal, Arun Jaitley, and a number of other politicians who have been lawyers.
Sardar Patel.
Sardar Patel, yes.
Is
sir.
our present president a law graduate?
Sir, I'm unaware about it.
You're unaware?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Ramnath Kovind is a law graduate.
Yes, sir.
He is very much a law graduate. Okay, now Delhi you know quite a lot. Can you tell me the history of Delhi in brief? Just the landmarks.
Right, sir. So Delhi was initially known as Indraprasth, and it developed in bits and pieces. It developed as a combination of a number of areas in and around Delhi. It developed majorly during.
Where is Hastinapur, by the way? Any idea? Doesn't
I'm
matter.
unable to recall.
It's near Meerut actually.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So during medieval period, we see that a number of developments took place in and around Delhi. Places such as Lal Kot and Tughlaqabad, and a number of regions developed. And it was during the time of the Britishers that we see that the capital.
No, but we had so many kingdoms in between. After that, no? Lal
Sir,
Kot onwards, you're not care?
Sir, I'm not entirely aware.
You are a law graduate. Tell me, in this controversy between CBI and Calcutta Police, who was right?
Sir, in my opinion, both the governments are at a fault when it comes to the CBI controversy.
Why? Tell
So
me,
because
explain.
yes, sir.
Explain.
So because ultimately, it is the people of Kolkata and a number of states around it which are suffering because of the lack of speed in the investigation. Because nearly 17 lakh
No,
people.
that's not the point. You tell me, my question was legally. Was CBI right or Calcutta Police right?
So if we talk about legally, then the CBI has a right to investigate certain matters when it comes to interstate matters, because this was something which was mandated by the Supreme Court itself.
So,
However, having said that, even the CBI is required to follow certain protocols and they're required to exercise certain
they
restraints.
followed the protocol. They sent 3 summons to the Calcutta Police Commissioner.
Yes,
What
sir.
more is needed? And no protocol. In fact, that's the legal procedure. Then, what was wrong if he was not responding and they went to his house there?
Yes, sir. Sir, in fact, here 17 letters were sent to the police and the police were not responding. So an action was required to be taken. But the situation that we saw, that on a Sunday night that there are so many officers are turning up at
Is
the
there any
residence.
bar for police to go on a Sunday night to somebody's house?
Not really, sir. So, but when issues of such sensitivity are involved, it would be better if.
No, I don't agree with you. We were talking only legally, strictly legally.
So strictly legally, I think that the CBI was not wrong in.
And Calcutta Police was wrong.
So So Calcutta Police was legally required to give their full support to the investigation.
And they detained the CBI officials.
Yes, sir. So that is again something which should have been avoided.
What is happiness index? Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Um,
And which country is the happiest country in the world?
yes, sir. So happiness index, as the name suggests, tries to gauge the happiness of the people which are living in the country, and they measure the development of a region on the basis of that. And Bhutan is considered, from what I know, Bhutan is considered as the happiest nation in that index.
But who had developed this concept? Any idea?
Um,
Some say Norway is the happiest country in the world.
Sir, I'm unaware about who.
Okay, tell me, lawn tennis. Did any Indian ever reached Wimbledon quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals?
So we have had our doubles team do really well in Wimbledon, especially Leander Paes and Mahesh Bhupathi.
Singles.
So singles, I'm unaware about quarterfinals or semi-finals, but recently Yuki Bambri, he was a part of the people who qualified to be a part of Wimbledon.
Can you tell me the history of communism in India?
So from what I can recollect, communism as a concept began, it would have been existing in different forms since the beginning, but the most prominent form of communism is when we saw during the freedom struggle. It is then that M.N. Roy and a number of other eminent persons, they formed the Communist Party of India, and even our revolutionaries then, sir, I'm so sorry, I'm unable to have a chain of thought here.
Vaishali, you derive your name from a town,
Yes,
a
sir.
very important town of ancient India. What was so special about Vaishali?
Yes, sir. So Vaishali is a place in Bihar, and it has a lot of historical significance. It is considered as one of the first republics of the world. It was the capital of the Lichavi state of the Vriji
Wonderful.
Confederation, and even after that, it has history with Buddhism, because Gautam Buddha gave his second last sermon in Vaishali, and he had visited Vaishali a number of times. Even when it comes to Jainism, Mahavir Jain were also born in Vaishali, and due to this significance, a number of rulers were also attracted
Very
here.
good. Tell me something about, you come from Haryana. What is the connection of Haryana with the Indus Valley civilization?
So Haryana again has a very rich past, and a number of important Indus Valley civilization sites were located in Haryana, such as Rakigiri. And recently, a number of excavations at Rakigiri have given us a lot of insights about the Indus Valley
What is
civilization.
that information?
So I believe that a number of Rakigiri is considered as one of the most best preserved sites, because
Most best preserved site, are you sure?
so in the sense that
Is the largest site, not
Ah.
the best preserved kind.
right, I'm sorry, sir, it is considered as the largest site.
It is the largest Indus Valley site anywhere in the world.
Oh, all right, sir. I was unaware about
It's
this.
bigger than Harappa and Mohenjo-daro.
All right, sir. So recent excavations have found, in the sense of best preserved that I was saying, they have found a number of structures during the excavations which have been preserved in that area.
No, Vaishali. Best preserved though you'll find in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa maybe.
All right, sir.
Here they have been able to excavate skeletons.
Right.
And recently it was in news because a skeleton of a couple was discovered
Alright, sir.
here. And then they had taken the DNA from the skeleton which were found earlier, and they tested it in Deccan College. And they have found that most of the inhabitants of Indus Valley were Dravidians and not the Aryans.
All right, sir.
All right. Tell me your views on the recent judgment of Supreme Court in respect of Sabrimala, CBI, Rafael in those.
Right, sir. So in case of Sabrimala, it is my opinion that a lot of controversies have raised that the Supreme Court should probably not have gone into this.
What are your views?
So my view is that Supreme Court has been formed as a guardian of fundamental rights, And when fundamental rights of any groups are allegedly violated, then that person has a right to approach the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is duty bound to
No,
hear
that's
those
fine.
matters.
So the Supreme Court has given some judgment.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking your reaction on that judgment. Are you agreeing, not agreeing, and why you are not agreeing or why you are agreeing?
Sir, I agree with the Supreme Court judgment, the majority judgment, for the fact that there is a right to religion which is granted under Article 25 of the Constitution. However, that right is not an absolute right, and there are certain restrictions on that rights. And the Supreme Court was well within its powers to check if any other provision of the Constitution was violated or not, because Article 25 provides for it.
So what article was being violated?
Sir, the Supreme Court found that Article 14, which guarantees right to equality,
Alright.
was being violated.
So people are generally against this judgment. They say no, this is our tradition and we should continue with our tradition. And Supreme Court has got no authority or mandate to interfere with our traditional rights or the religious rights. Your comments on that?
Sir, I would have agreed with the general public if the Constitution would have granted an absolute right to religion. But our Constitution has
No,
put...
forget, suppose, let us forget about Constitution. What are your views, irrespective of the Constitution, provision in the Constitution?
So my views, irrespective of the Constitution, is that any social change should come from the society or from the legislature or the executive who have the experience to implement certain decisions.
So you think that this decision is not correct?
No, sir, I'm not at all denying that.
Okay.
I'm saying it would have been better if it would have come from the society, because then it would have had...
Society will not allow it because the society is a minority society, so they'll create laws as per the convenience to them.
Sir, if you look at our history, even there was a time when even sati was practiced, but it was the society which thought that that practice is something that should be
Alright.
done.
Regarding its decision on, say, CBI,
So the appointment of CBI,
that the controversy between the director and the additional director,
right, sir.
and that matter was referred to the Supreme Court by the director.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe in that situation, the Supreme Court was correct in holding that, incorrect in interpreting the word transfer as also, in interpreting the word removal as also including transfer, because the Supreme Court essentially said that even a transfer of a CBI director can amount to removal, and that is something that should have been done by the advice of the selection committee.
So you are not agreeing with this view?
Sir, I agree with this view. Because ultimately, whenever these laws are formed, we need to look at the legislative intent behind that law and
But
the purpose.
ultimately, Supreme Court did not decide on that. The Supreme Court said if they are not follow the due process of law, that's all.
Yes.
And then they referred it back.
Right, sir. So they essentially said they put the CBI director back on the position, and then they said that now the select committee should decide the fate of the director.
All right. Thank you very much.
Most of the NLU, including yourself, pass outs, they join jobs. And most of the DU law graduates, they join practice. What can be the reason? Both are in Delhi.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe one reason is that the difference in the course structure. In the DU, there is a 3-year course structure which offers a little less opportunity to have specialization in certain specific corporate laws. However, in a 5-year degree, a lot of opportunity is given to us to choose amongst the various laws which are available. And once we make an expertise, the recruiters are usually interested in recruiting from someone who has an expertise in these areas. So that can be done.
5-year course is having, for 2 years they keep on teaching you what is political science, which they study otherwise as a graduate, because they go as graduate, you go as +2.
Right, sir.
So now, what do you?
So in the final 2 years, we are given the opportunity to have our specializations in different areas. They're called as seminar courses. However, from my experience, I've noted that 3-year law schools usually lack this opportunity. So,
No, they have corporate law, no problem, the corporate law is there, company law is also taught there.
yes, sir.
As a compulsory, not even as a optional.
Right, sir. So what I'm trying to say is that when we have 5 years at hand, since the very beginning, we are able to create a specialization in that area by doing a lot of internships, by coming in contact with
So most of them do specialize in corporate only, in that case NLU.
so not most of them, but yes, I would say around 30 to 40% of students, because I was part of the RCC, so I was in connection with these issues. But around 30 to 40% students do want to opt for corporate services.
Okay, the reason is the syllabus.
Yes, sir.
Is it not that because +2 they are younger and they are more influenced by the environment there to work for the and companies prefer them, and here they are already very hardened lot after BA they go to this thing and they are not very manageable by the companies. Is it so?
So that can be a possible reason.
All India service, particularly this, not only All India service, central service and All India services which for which you are trying. There was a proposal or a rumor during Rajiv Gandhi time that they should be taken after +2, not after graduation. What do you think about civil services?
Right, sir.
Competition should be after 10+2, not after graduation.
Sir, I believe that graduation as an experience really helps us identify ourselves in the process. When we are in 10th or 12th, then we are more or less influenced by a number of other factors, and we have little opportunity to identify ourselves. It is only during graduation or even during further studies where we experience various other areas that we are able to truly find ourselves at what we really want to do.
Okay.
At times it even takes us 10 years to find our true calling. So,
in fact, that time thinking was that these postgraduates and all that they are coming, and they have made already opinion. They cannot be made pro-government. Very difficult. Some of them are critics of the government, have already agitated as students' unions, leaders and all that. Okay. Anyhow, what do you mean by justice as a concept?
So justice, I believe, as a concept means doing the right thing. And doing the right thing can vary from situation to situation. And from the point of view of a person, it means that that person's rights should be preserved, should not be violated.
Again, you have to define right in that case. What is right thing? What is the test of a thing being right?
Right, sir. Sir, I believe rights can be understood in different connotations. There are different types of rights. I have certain rights by virtue of being a human being. We call
Not
them
both rights. You have to be doing right things.
right, sir.
Here means correct.
Right,
Meaning of
sir.
the right is correct, not that
Just
privilege.
disabled.
So justice, in one terms, means yes, doing right things, but from the point of view of a person.
My question now is, what is the test of that it is right or wrong?
Sir, I believe there are several tests that can come into picture here.
Tell me.
One being the legal test, whether something is
Legally compatible or not?
Yes, sir.
Any
The
other-
second is ethics. At times, the law might not
In
be.
ethics, what is the test?
Sir, there are again various tests. For instance, we have the test of deontology, which talks about the right means. We have the test of
What does the
utility.
deontological say that?
So they say that it's not the end that matters the most.
Hmm.
We need to look at the means. Our means should also be correct.
No,
to achieve.
deontological, Kant idea, he has given a maxim. What is that categorical imperative and maxim, that is maxim, which says that what is right? If this test is fulfilled, then it is right. Any idea?
So I'm unable to recall the maxim, but
Okay.
I believe that they say it's not just the ends, but also the means that matter.
Okay, fine. What is the climate justice?
So climate justice essentially talks about how talks for the justice of those countries or those people who have essentially not contributed to the problems of the climate change but are worst affected by it, and how the countries who or the people who have been responsible for the deterioration of our climate must give an extra effort in terms of time, money, and even resources to help those nations of people who have been adversely affected due to
Fine,
the
fine.
change.
Good. Last question. Within Constitution, can you find a justification for the basic structure doctrine?
Sir, I believe that the preamble of the Constitution is something that can be used as a justification for the basic structure doctrine, because preamble was essentially put in to bring out the basic ethos of our
Okay,
Constitution.
fine. Now I said within Constitution, now I will say within 368, Article 368. Can you find some justification?
So the very fact that Article 368 makes it difficult for us to amend our Constitution means that our Constitution makers did not want our Constitution to be changed at any point or to be changed very easily. So they essentially, they would have thought that there are certain basic principles
Yeah.
upon which our Constitution cannot be changed or should be very difficult to change.
Good.
Possibly that.
Yes.
Vaishali,
Yes, sir.
you're from Haryana, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think of this Jat agitation? It takes place almost around the same time every year. This year I don't know, maybe same time, like last year or?
Or whenever there is an election.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, on the point of, on the...
Please.
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe that whenever a community or any a group of people agitate, there are certain reasons for it. And here there are reasons such as the dominant caste that we call Jats are facing pauperization and are facing poverty due to certain reasons, such as there is a fragmentation of land which is taking place, the input costs are increasing, and the agriculture, which was possibly once a more sustainable occupation, is now on the decline. And because of which they're facing certain issues and they're demanding more avenues to come out and have more other options in terms of job. However, it is unfortunate, like you mentioned, that the agitation comes around certain times, that this issue is politicized rather than looking at the problems, core problems of the issue and looking for better solutions for this agitation.
Okay. Why they changed the name from Gurgaon to Gurugram?
Sir, I'm unaware about the reasons why they've
Really?
changed. Yes, sir.
Okay. They also say a river is flowing underneath Gurgaon. No?
Okay.
What is that river? Did you hear about it?
No, sir.
No?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Tell me about 3 or 4 concepts basically. In law you must have done it. Certiorari, quo warranto, mandamus, and habeas corpus.
Right, sir. So these 4 are essentially writs which are filed when any fundamental rights are violated. Habeas corpus means to bring the body.
Mhm.
That essentially is to ask the authorities which are holding up a person to find that person,
Mhm.
to find that person and bring it before the court. Mandamus is to direct the government officials, government authorities to act in their duties in case they're not following their duties. Quo warranto is to question with what authority. Essentially, it is filed when a person is occupying a position and they want to question the.
Tell me, these words are English or they are?
So they sound like Latin, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Right, sir.
What is judicial activism and judicial overreach?
Right, sir.
And you have to give me examples.
All right, sir. So judicial activism is a more assertive role played by the judiciary to push the other 2 organs of the government to perform their constitutional duties and to uphold the fundamental rights of the people. An example can be, we saw environmental justice, which came around 1980s, where we saw that the Supreme Court in various judgments, such as the MC Mehta judgment, and even later on, asked the government to take efforts to better the environment of the country. Even the Vishakha judgment, for that matter, can be considered as judicial activism because there was a lacuna in law at that point of time. Judicial overreach is when judicial activism goes beyond a certain line where the judiciary encroaches upon the mandate of the legislature and the executive. And in that situation, the very fine balance that our constitution has made between the 3 organs of the government tends to get disturbed even if the judiciary is coming with its best of intentions. I believe an example can be the recent judgment of the Supreme Court where they banned liquor from the highways because that decision was well intended.
Mhm.
However, it did have certain ramifications for various states, and it was essentially an executive area where the judiciary, I believe, should not have intervened because they did not have the expertise or the resources to understand the implication of the judgments or to enforce it, for that matter.
Okay. Who talked about separation of powers, stemming from your answer only?
Um,
The political thinker, very famous.
Yes, sir. Sir, if I'm correct, it was Montesquieu
Okay.
who talked about separation of power,
Mhm.
and his idea was that the government is run by various organs, and all those organs should work within their own realms, and there should be a clear-cut separation of power, so that they can have their own specializations in that area, and that they are immune from interference from other organs, so that they can perform their functions well.
Do you think we have separation of powers in India?
So we don't have separation of powers in the strictest sense, but
Okay.
we do have separation of powers.
Mhm.
Even our directive principle of state policy, Article 50,
Mhm.
talks about that there should be a separation of power between the executives and the judiciary.
Mhm.
However, we follow a concept of checks and balances,
Mhm.
where sometimes different organs do have interactions with each other, but more or less we do follow separation of powers.
What are your service preferences?
So my first preference is Indian Administrative Service.
Mhm.
Second preference is Indian Revenue Services (IT). Third is Indian Police Service, and
Mhm.
fourth is Indian Foreign Service.
Okay. What do you think of this new movement, Me Too?
Sir, in my opinion, it was a high time that such a movement should have come in,
Mhm.
because this movement has now mainstreamed
Okay.
the issues related to gender equality, gender justice.
Mhm.
However, at the same time, we are treading a very thin rope in this situation, because this movement can also be jeopardized by a counter narrative, or for that matter, even issues such as rule of law, where a mere accusation is often considered as a person is guilty. So, in my opinion, the movement was necessary. It has done good work. However, we must also look at the negative sides of it and try and overcome it, so that our main focus on the issue is not diverted.
My last question to you, Vaishali, because you put foreign service as your last preference. Is our foreign policy dynamic? Indian foreign policy? Short answer.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think our foreign policy has increasingly become dynamic, as we have now responded to the changing situations in the foreign scenario. For instance, there was a time when we weren't looking at East that often, and then we had Look East, and now we have Act East.
Mhm.
So we are, I believe, moving in a more in the direction of a more dynamic foreign policy.
Thank you, Vaishali.
Thank you, Ms. Vaishali. Your interaction with us is over. Kindly wait for a few minutes. We'll call you for the feedback.
Alright.
How have you done today?
So not that well, I believe. I've been trying to control my speed, but it comes naturally to me, and I'm unable to control it too much. But I still think I've done a little better on my speed this time. But there were certain questions that if I wasn't sure of, I should not have begun answering those questions, such as on communism. It wasn't striking me at all, and so I should not have begun with the answer. Because
Well, good, you know your weaknesses and strengths. You are a good candidate as far as we are concerned. You have the potential of making it also. But you need to do a lot of work. Unfortunately, you have a month.
yes, sir.
Now, what we noticed was that one is of course good personality, communication, articulation, all that is there. But what we noted was, I'll first tell you that what we noted was your hands, you keeping like this, don't do. Hands can be loose like that.
All right, sir.
There are information gaps.
Yes, sir.
There's clarity and delivery issues. You answer every question whether you know the answer or not. Of course, and you're fast. That is there, too fast. You go on a tangent. You also shoot in the dark. We are only telling you areas where you need to work.
Yes,
we
sir.
just we are being honest and frank
Yes,
with
sir.
you in our assessment. Yeah. And you don't listen. CBI thing, I told you legally, thrice I had to tell you. You
Sorry,
went
sir.
on sensitivity, this, that, you're very cautious. In that case, you're trying to take a middle path unnecessarily. You don't say thanks, you say alright. Whenever you are given any information, you say alright.
Yes, sir.
Courtesy demands you should thank the member. And you use this word I believe. I believe. बहुत बोलते हैं आप. I believe you must have said maybe 50 times, I think. I believe. Eye contact, you need to improve. You're not looking at others while talking to one person. Try to do that. You move your chair also. And of course, as I already said, you go on a tangent and you talk too much. When you see, you should confine your answer should be short. He asked you, who talked of the separation of powers? You gave a name. And then you went on the 4 more sentences.
Right, sir.
There's no need really. You should answer the question.
Right, sir.
Listen always. See, point is listen, think, pause, answer. Come direct to the question. In short, in brief.
Right, sir.
If you know the answer, give the answer. If you don't know, say no. It's not a crime. It's good you're being honest. If you know half, say half and say I only know this much.
All right, sir.
If the mind goes blank, say so. Okay. I'll come to the questions that I asked. I talked to you about Delhi.
Delhi, sir, I haven't prepared.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I should.
CBI, Calcutta police controversy. I told you, I said legally who's right. And you said, no, both are right and both are wrong, and then this, that is there and all. Cautious, middle path. And ultimately you change your stand, you agreed with me. I talked to you about, by the way, who knows who the legal luminaries, the President of India, at least you should have known Mr. Kovind was a law graduate. He was a practicing lawyer. History of communism, disaster.
Yes, sir. Disaster.
Lawn tennis. You know, Ramanathan Krishnan was one person. He was semi-finalist twice
Right, sir.
in 1961-62. And I think one of them later, somebody else, he reached the quarterfinal also. I think Jadip Mukherjee maybe, or you'll have to check on that. Now, see what you need to do is that work on these areas. Make a list of about 50 topics covering various fields. Make bullet points below that. Keep on updating information. A lot is happening, you know, and changes are taking place. Work on your DAF, of course. Indian economy, we didn't ask you anything. So you should read Mint newspaper as a good paper. Are you reading Mint?
Yes, sir.
What else are you reading?
So I'm reading Indian Express, The Hindu, and The Mint, and also Tribune for Haryana-related information.
But if you have the time, you can. Otherwise, one paper and Mint plus one paper should do. But anyway, it's up to you. Read Economist Online. It's there, and then MEA's website, Yojana, and know all the government schemes.
Right, sir.
So you come, actually, the point is that you were from such a good background, your parents are lawyers, you are there, you are having a job. This can also be a question as to why you are getting so much of money. But point is that in that case, expectation from you also will be higher.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot blow up the chance. Don't have too many mocks. In a month's time, I think maximum, if you like, you can have 2 after a gap of 10 days each. Go where you think you'll get the best advice. If you want to come here, we'll be happy to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Vaishali, I found you extremely intelligent and articulate. And I find that you're very bright, 95.8 and then 95 and then 7.5 out of 8. That's very credible. But I feel that while you are very articulate, you speak a little fast, and because of that, many a time you bypass the reasoning. So if you do not speak that fast, number one. And number two, you don't have to cover the entire area. No. If somebody is asking a question on a particular issue, take up only 3 or 4 sub-issues on that, important issues.
Alright, sir.
Forget about all of that. The moment you start comparing, covering everything, you will lose the focus, and many a time you will commit mistakes.
Yes.
So no need. Rather, even if you know 10 things out of, so say suppose 10 things on an issue, talk about only 4 or 5. Let the interview board ask you further question. So you will keep that ammunition ready. If you spend all your ammunition in the first instance itself, then you will not have anything else.
Right, sir.
So as a strategy, speak little less and keep something up your sleeves so that you can take advantage of that little later. Secondly, one thing I do not know, you see the top half of your face does not seem to be smiling, and the lower part of the face seems to be very smiling. So many times it gives an impression as if you are making an effort to be smiling. Don't do that. Be natural. Absolutely. If you are natural, you will get reflected. Don't worry about all that. So I think that if you are natural, then that will reflect your actual personality. And I found that one more thing, that many a times when you discuss or when you take up an issue, you tend to take a middle path. ये भी ठीक है, ये भी
यही
ठीक है,
मैंने कहा,
and
CBI
then-
versus Calcutta.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Whatever you
It's
feel,
not fair, no? It's wrong.
and take a firm stand on that. Either this way, that way.
And have
Even-
your reasoning and logic, but give that if asked for.
Alright, sir.
और अगर वाकई में if you think that the middle path is the best path, then it's okay. But not for every question. You must have your own opinion. That's why we are human beings.
Right.
Have your own opinion, express that opinion, give some logic, and that is another matter.
Alright, sir.
So I find that you are an excellent candidate, and you have got huge potential. And if you have done well, because you have taken law, and law is quite a scoring, and I do not know how did you do in your exam. If you have done your exam well, I'm quite sure that you will be in the top 3-4 services of your choice.
Just
All the
two
way.
things I'll before you. One is do you use a watch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you shift this watch to the right wrist.
Alright, sir.
It will remind you all the time that I have to speak slow. This is one way of, it will look odd.
Right, sir.
This is one thing that you should be doing.